Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Every Day is Friday, the show where we dive into the stories and experiences from people from all walks of life. Today, we have Natalie with us, an actress, author, and career dating coach. She helps men transform their lives in 90 days or less. She's even wrote a book, How to Get the Girl. It's available on Amazon. We're going to dive into dating, confidence, and success. Also, how to level up your life. Natalie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Matthew. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Now, for the listeners who may not be familiar with your line of work yet, could you give us a quick rundown of who you are and what you do and why you do it?
I do everything because I had to. um, Basically, I'm a behavioral expert with a background in psychology and communication. So I'm a career and dating expert, and I'm also a producer and actress. So anything that has to do with human behavior, that's my realm. And I do it because, childhood, life, studying is just what I was fascinated by. So
that's amazing. Now, what inspired you to become a dating coach?
that was an accident. I'd studied psychology and I'd always been helping other people for the longest time. Like people would always come to me, especially men, on like, what does this text mean? What did she mean when she say that? What is this? What is that? So I was always helping men, but it was about 8 years ago, I got sober, stopped doing all drugs, all alcohol, really started to learn how to heal myself because I was always able to help others, couldn't help myself. And so I was in this position of, okay, I'm following my career, but I need to heal, but I also need a job. I need a career. I need something that I'm proud of that makes me feel good. So I started looking back into like getting my master's, getting my PhD, becoming a counselor. But I didn't like the therapy route. It's just not the route that I preferred. And, someone called me up one day and they were like, hey, listen, we have a mutual friend. She's expanding her company. She's a dating coach for men. I think you guys would be a great fit. And up until that time, I had no idea that we existed. I didn't know that like people helped. I knew about pickup artists and those are terrible. I mean, I love, more power to them, but there's a lot of manipulation in that one. So yeah, I started my own company about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's been amazing.
No, helping people transform their lives is very powerful, and I thank you for doing that.
Appreciate it. It's fun I think the reason why we go into anything is because that's the area that you've gotten your butt kicked the most in. Relationships are the area that I have suffered in the most, struggled in the most, been hurt in the most, overcome the most, had the most like beautiful moments in. And it's helped me launch career just by like, learning who I am and my patterns and relationships are the same ones that you have in career. So getting to like pass that on and watch other people just like transform. Like I do it for selfish reasons too, obviously. Like it feels so good to watch someone overcome trauma, overcome like I work with a lot of war vets and CEOs that have a lot of trauma, like watching them not want to hurt themselves and kill themselves anymore, but actually like love their lives. There's nothing like it. It's amazing.
It is truly amazing. Now, what's one of the biggest lessons you've learned from coaching people on dating?
Biggest lesson I learned was, and is men and women are a lot more alike than we're being led to believe. The similarities are astronomical, like huge. So human behavior is the same. It's just that, yes, if someone has more testosterone and someone has more estrogen and someone has different biochemicals, you're going to be a little bit different. And that's why gender isn't really like so black and white, to be honest. It's very like your genetic makeup internally is actually what kind of makes that up. So whoever has more estrogen, who has more testosterone, especially like neurologically, what happens is it's human behavior, and you're taught in society and in different societies how to process your emotions and how to behave. So there's social constructs going on, right? But human behavior, wants, needs, fears, desires, dreams, all the same, all the same. Men and women have the same fears, the same insecurities, the same limiting beliefs, the same hopes and dreams, the same wants and needs. It's fucking, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but it's mind blowing. And I thought that before I started coaching men like this professionally, and learning more, I kind of thought that like men knew the answers and that you guys knew better, that like because you guys are more in charge in the world, that like you knew better. And when I started coaching, I realized that like, no one knows what they're doing. We're all like figuring it out together. You're taught to like manipulate women in order to get love, and women are taught to like act, react, and people please in order to receive. It's crazy. But really, at the end of the day, it's two people who want the same thing. They just were taught not to communicate with each other. So that honestly, biggest healing of my life, huge shift in consciousness when I realized that like we actually are a lot more similar. We just are taught to speak a little bit differently. And once we could bridge that gap of communication, it's game the fuck over.
Communication is key in a relationship. I mean, being open and honest about your feelings, I mean, helps build trust.
Oh, yeah. Actually, this is a big one, too. So with some guys, I know right now they're going to listen and be like, yeah, well, the last time I was open and vulnerable, she was terrible. She destroyed me. She threw it in my face. Same with women. And what that is that's because that's an unhealed person. So you want to create boundaries. And if you're around someone that when you open up, they throw it back in your face, automatic, disqualified, they're out. That's like being on the field and having a teammate who like my thumbs up, throws a temper tantrum and like destroys the team and like punches your own teammate in the face. It's like you have boundaries for things for a reason. If someone steps on your field and in your realm and they're disrespectful, they don't follow the rules, they throw things back in your face, that's a like timeout. That's a bench. And if they do it again, they're off the team. So that's some people will be like, oh, everyone's like this. And it's like, no, you're around someone that's disrespectful. Get away from them. And then find the ones that when you're vulnerable, it's a safe space.
Yeah, the strongest relationships are built on good conversations.
Oh yeah. And difficult ones, hard ones. Cause then you're not afraid of anything. That's your teammate. When you find the right person, you'll go further and faster. It will catapult you because that's your confidant. That's the person that's like, you can go to, and vice versa. You guys have that ability to like map things out and forward motion. For your people who have more estrogen, you have access to more intuition, right? You have more like, okay, this is what I think the team needs. This is what we're needing. This is what I'm seeing. And then for those who have more like testosterone, just means forward motion, you take the intuition and you do something about it. And that's a solid team.
That's great insight. Now, what do most people get wrong about dating?
If I could generalize, I think that it would be that they're not aware of their own wounds and that your subconscious wounds will have you picking broken partners. So each time that you date someone, it's a reveal on your subconscious. It's just like a video game. So if you're dating the same thing over and over again, like a gold digger, it means that you have insecurities about money and not feeling good enough, just being yourself. And so once you heal that and you work on that with like a therapist or yourself, there's ways that you can like Google this stuff and do it yourself for sure. It might take a little bit longer and you're going to battle more voices in your head, but you can do it. But when you reveal your wounds and you work on your wounds and the things that hurt you, you won't keep dating the type of people that you shouldn't that don't work for you. You'll level up.
I love that. Level up. And
Yeah.
just basically look it up and do your research before you go out in the dating world. Now, what's one of the first steps someone should take if they want to improve their dating life?
Hire me as a coach. Okay. No, there's some bad coaches out there though too. So just be careful if you are going to go that route. First step that they should take is get to know themselves. That's number one. If you don't know yourself and you don't know what you like or what you don't like, it's like throwing spaghetti at a wall and seeing what sticks. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything. And you definitely are not going to be fully healed. That's impossible. But start that conversation with yourself. What do I like? What do I not like? What am I willing to like be okay with? And what is an absolute no? This is a boundary. I do not allow disrespect, manipulation, throwing things back in my face, hitting below the belt. Like these are my parameters. So start to identify your parameters. And then what are your core values? Who are you as a man or who are you as a woman? It's going to help you with how you ask questions on a date. So you can see if you guys are actually compatible or if it's someone that's like not the right one. The other thing is, the more that you can breathe deeply on the date and get out of amygdala, which is fight or flight, like fear, freeze, whatever, the more that you're going to be able to pay attention and tell first, faster than her actually, if there's actually chemistry there or not. So working on our nerves and like just kind of focusing on the dating element of it. Is this person for me? Is this a good match? Is there a compatibility here? Or like, can I just have a good time on this date, but it's not going to be a second date moving forward.
Now, Natalie, why do you think so many people struggle with dating and relationships today?
Because because it's the biggest area that reveals the most about you. The most. Relationships are a mirror to you. And most people are either afraid to face themselves, afraid to get help and healing. And so they'll shut down and isolate because it's scary and it's painful. But because that's part of your heart. Like most people want to find a partner or like be loved or, connect with someone and not feel like alone or stupid or rejected. So it's really scary. It's really, really scary. And it takes bravery and confidence. I mean, confidence is just a learned skill. It's not you can be anxious and still be confident. Confidence is just a learned skill, but it takes, a form of like, you know what, this has hurt me in the past, but I'm going to heal. I'm going to show up and I'm going to learn how to do this. So
Now, I know women are drawn to men who carry themselves with confidence. Now, is confidence more attractive than looks?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. You guys see it all the time. It's why you can see this like bombshell of a woman talking with this boofy motherfucker. Or you're like, what is that? But so anytime that guys are like, oh, I'm too short or I'm not good looking enough or blah, blah, blah. Like, come on. You know right now that you complain every single time that you see an amazing, gorgeous woman with a dude who's like a 3. Like, it happens all the time. Money doesn't matter. Where my short king's at. I'm actually a product of a short king and a tall queen. Like my dad had walking down that aisle, like my mom's taller than him, and he's just like, yeah, buddy. So yeah. And confidence doesn't mean that you don't feel insecure. That's BS. Confidence is just showing up for yourself anyway, in spite of and because of those fears.
Now, they say most first dates are decided in the first 5 minutes. Do you resonate with that, or what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, a little bit. It depends on the level of work that you've done on yourself. The more grounded you are, the faster you'll feel whether or not there's chemistry. So chemistry is just a physiological representation of emotional connection. Let me think. The other ones are emotional. It's been a while since I explained this. Emotional, a frequency match. I love that every time I do thumbs up stuff. A frequency match. And then the last one is just a visual representation. Like visual, you can actually, this is crazy with the iPad thing. So you can actually change who you're attracted to by the internal work that you do. It doesn't mean that you're going to be attracted to women and men that you're like, you would never actually be with. It means that like, you'll actually stop being attracted to people who are toxic and you'll actually see the more attractive people to you that have done the inner work too. It's always a frequency, like attracts like. So yes, within 5 minutes when you meet someone and not online, like it has to be in a physical presence, you can actually feel in you whether or not there is potentially something there and what that might be. Yeah.
Now, making her laugh is a great way to build a connection. Most women like men with a sense of humor. What's your opinion on that?
I think so. I mean, I can't generalize too much on it because I'm sure there's some people out there that'd be like, I don't like that. I don't want to. I don't know. I haven't personally, absolutely. And I think that's just you want a friend. It's not just like the attraction is there too. Of course, you want someone that you know that you can cuddle with and like, have a little fun on a Friday night. But you also want someone that like when life is in session and life is doing its thing, you have someone that like can bring a smile to you too, and vice versa. Yeah, you don't have to force a laugh or make someone laugh, because sometimes that can also be you're afraid of emotions and you're afraid of like deepening connections. So I wouldn't recommend like just making someone laugh on a date, because then you only have like someone that's uncomfortable with their own emotions, and that could lead to issues. But like a good level of like connecting, flirting, commonality, like finding something joyous that you both laugh at, and then connecting on a deeper level. It's a flow.
Now, for the listener out there that's wondering, what questions should I ask on a first date? What would you tell them?
Depends on your intentions. If you're only looking for casual, then you do want to find out too. I mean, casual or relationship doesn't matter. I do recommend um asking and finding out to make sure that you guys are in alignment. Like within the first 3 dates, you want to know what their intentions are. Like, so what are you looking for? When's the last time you were in a relationship? If you don't mind me asking, why did that end? And now from those 3 questions alone, you're going to be able to find out if they're self-involved, if everything is everyone else's fault except for for themselves, and they don't take accountability, if they've actually done any healing work, and if they're open or emotionally unavailable. You'll be able to tell that like that. 3 questions.
Now,
Those are big, yeah.
I know that women want to be heard and understood. Now, being a good listener makes a huge difference. Now, can you tell the listeners what can they do to be a good listener?
Yes, look up active listening. Now, I just had this conversation with a client of mine. Active listening does not mean that you over empathize with the person and try and fix their problems. That is not it. In fact, on a date within the first 2 months, you're still in like the discovery phase of, does this work for me? Not, how do I make this work? So active listening is you're listening and finding commonality. And when you ask a question, you also share information as well, so that way there's an actual conversation, not just one-sided, because she does want to get to know you too. If you're with someone where you're only talking and they're not, letting you talk and discovering who you are, it's not going to be a match. That's kind of boring. You guys are humans too. You deserve to have reciprocity. So it would be, let's say that you ask her a question like, so how was your day? And she was like, oh my God, it was really good. And you're like, okay, great. Well, what about today made it great? I also had a really good day. She's like, oh my God, like what did you do? I had a great day because I talked to my mom finally. And then I went, shopping for plants, and I've been dying for plants. Now, boom, you've got 2 things that you can relate to and steer the conversation with. Now, based on you, not her, based on what you like. I talk so much with my hands, so it's like the things are, but based on what you like and what you're connected to, you want to be loving the conversation too. So if you love family, ask her about her mom. If you love nature, ask her about plants. If it's nature, like, oh, you went for plants. I love nature so much. My whole apartment is like filled. I'm actually going on a trip in nature soon. What about you? Do you like nature, or like what kind of plant did you get? Now all of a sudden you're engaged because you're going to love this conversation, and you're about to find out if she's got commonality. If she's like, oh no, I actually don't. I hate it. I love staying inside. I actually like killed all of my plants, so I needed to buy another one for my roommate. Then you're like, got it. You see how it's like, it's active listening. You're listening, but you're sharing information with a commonality to see, do we align? Do we have something here? And if she's also asking questions back, great.
Yeah, paying attention, asking thoughtful questions show that you truly care.
Yeah, absolutely. But as long as you're getting that back too, then you can see that she
Okay.
truly cares as well.
No, that's really good insight. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for asking.
Now, what inspired you to write How to Get a Girl?
I've done a lot of online courses over the years. I have one right now called How to Get the Girl, and I kept having this idea that it should be a book. for like 6 months, it was nagging at me. Like, this could be a book, this could be a book, this could be, because I noticed that like everyone learns in different ways. Not everyone wants to take an online course. Not everyone can afford coaching. Some people like a book that they could read and have access to. I still want to make it into an Audible too, because I know a lot of people love just like listening to things. So it was just my way of being able to get the information out, because there's so much bad information, so much. There's so much pickup artist BS. There's so much like, you got to like not call her for 3 days, and you got to manipulate her this way, and you got to do this, and then you got to neg her. If you manipulate, you will not get a quality woman. You won't. You're only going to get a woman who manipulates. Game recognized game, like attracts like. But a quality woman who's done her work and is looking for a solid man, she's just going to walk away from it, right? So I just kept having this thing inside of me that was like, turn your online course into a book. And I did. I just, downloaded it, did transcribed it, threw it into a book and put it out there.
Writing a book is a big achievement. I give you lots of props on that.
Appreciate it.
Now, you work with a lot of clients. Now, what is the most common question they ask about dating?
Woo! Most common question. How do I get the girl? No, it's interesting. I've been really surprised because it depends on the level of awareness and how much work they've already done. So I'll get kind of like two different groups. I'll get some guys that come in that ask, how do I approach? Like, what do I say? And then I have others that go, why do I keep getting the same type of woman over and over again? How do I make this stop? How do I get better? How do I transform? So both of these types of questions, it's the same answer. It's about how you feel about yourself and your limiting beliefs. Because at the end of the day, if you walk up to someone and you say squid plus orange equals banana, and they're like, what? Like, if it's meant for you, you'll be married to her next year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. It matters how you and what you're doing. So your inner subconscious mind will have you walking up to the wrong person over and over and over again until you heal from whatever's hurting you. So it really just depends on like your belief system. If you believe that all women are gold diggers, that you don't deserve love, that love hurts, then no matter what, you're going to walk up to what's called a confirmation bias and a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your brain has to give you and spot whatever you tell it to. It is that simple. So whatever you believe, that's what you're going to get. So what you can do is you work on your belief systems. So, those are the biggest questions I get. And the biggest answer is it's your belief system. And so what we do is I do neuro-linguistic programming. I help find your belief systems and why they're there. Trauma from childhood, pain from, being a teenager, fear, insecurities. And we take those and we flip them and we give you new belief systems. I am worthy. And you feel it as truth because we do that inner work. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am good enough. You know what? I deserve to be with someone who respects me. And if they don't respect me, that ain't the one. And I'm not going to sit around trying to prove myself to someone anymore. I'm done. Because every time a woman comes in and makes me feel like I need to prove myself to her, I acquiesce, I people please, I do things I don't want to do. She's mean. I'm with the wrong person. So instead, I'm going to have better boundaries. When I speak up and she's disrespectful, I'm going to say that's not okay. If she continues, I'm out. I'm done changing people in order for me to be okay. Instead, I'm walking away and I'm going to find the right ones. And I can show you how you've already done it with like career or friendships. And then what it does is it opens you up to using the same techniques for career. And it's the same thing. You'll wind up making more money, getting the promotion. Because instead of like overworking and killing yourself, you'll wind up working smarter, not harder, finding the right ones to say yes to, saying no to the ones that are just users and abusers. It can be that simple. You can get your time back. You can get your health back. You can, when we've done this work, I've helped clients, and like in the meantime, what's happened is like one guy, like his bone spurs went away. His backache it's left him. Another guy, like his ulcers healed. Like it's crazy when you learn how to heal and no longer be around people who are not safe for you. It's wild how your body comes back online and starts healing too.
Yeah, I mean, that is such great insight. I love everything you're talking about. And you are remarkable at what you do. I'll tell you that much. For the listeners listening, please take notes. And if you could go back in time, what advice would you give to your younger self about love and relationships?
Oh man, it's so hard because I love that question. It's difficult because it's like if I didn't go through what I did, I wouldn't be able to help who I help. Like I haven't been in battle. I don't know what it's like to watch someone die in my arms, but I know what it's like to like see someone get stabbed that I love and they're okay today, or like have a gun to my head, or and still stay with the person. Like I know what it's like to like be fired at, or and still overcome and choose safe people and fall in love with my life. So I get to help people that if I had gone back and changed anything, I wouldn't have that experience of knowing that when someone comes to me and they've had like so much pain and trauma, then I'm like, oh, you're gonna be just fine. Like there's a reason why you've been through what you've been through. It's not okay, but you're a big empath, or you're about to change the world, or you're about to fall in love, and like you're about to find the right one, and like you're about to level up and have way more success, love, and money. So I wish I could go back, and I just wish I could hug her a little more and just let her know that like, yo, hang in there. This is gnarly, but like you're gonna be okay. I promise it'll all work out in the end. It's okay. I and even still, thinking about that now, I don't know if anyone relates to this though. Like, I'm sure there's people listening that have gone through some really crazy things and they're okay now, but they want more success, or they want more love, or and they're feeling like they're hitting their head against the wall and they're scared. I feel that like right now I'm about to like do more in producing, and I'm scared because I've never been here before. Right. And I'm wishing that my future self, who's already accomplished this, could come over and tell me, hey, it's okay. I swear in the end of the day, it works out and you're really, really happy, right? So for anyone who's listening, just know that like the end of your book, it works out and it's really, really good. You're on your hero's journey. So, I try and help people to learn those lessons, including myself, a little bit faster so we get a little less ass kicking on the hero's journey. That's my job. I'm here to help with that, but we all have a hero's journey.
No, mindset is everything. And I'm going to transition to dating and relationships. Now, what's one thing men do that instantly lower their chances with women?
Secretly hate themselves instantly. Um, uh, you are allowed, I think that they don't realize this, and women too. You are allowed to have anxiety. You are allowed to have quirks. You are allowed to have depression and experience depression. It still means that you are worthy and deserving of love. So the number one thing that people do that they don't realize is they don't know that how they feel about themselves is actually what they date. So if I hate myself and I secretly feel like nothing ever works out for me, I will accidentally date men who throw things in my face, disappear, and flake on me every time because it's a vibrational match, because it's going to prove me right. So the number one thing that kills it is you're going to prove yourself right either way. So what would you like to prove yourself right on? Your choice. That it's the inner work. Inner work is 80% of it. 20% is like saying the right thing none of that matters. 80% is inner work.
Now, what's one thing men can do today to become more attractive to women?
Let's see. Oh, I would say, man, it's kind of hard because I want to give you the inner work, but it's also like, just start showing up for yourself. Whatever you want, do it for yourself first. That's the number one fastest way to get what you want. Write down a list of everything that you want and what it looks like. And then at the bottom, write down, what does it feel like? That's the most important part. Write down, what does it feel like to live the life that like of your dreams and have the woman of your dreams? I feel respected. I feel empowered. I feel safe. I feel honored. I feel cherished. I feel like, like I'm allowed to be me and accepted. Write that shit down. Every day on that list, give yourself 2 things. Find ways to make yourself feel that way. I swear to you, people will come up to you left and right and be like, oh my God, there's something about you. Like, yeah. I was like, did you change your hair? It's like, no, I changed my whole internal structure. But if you go out and like, it doesn't matter what you wear, but it's about like, do you love what you wear? Does it make you feel good? Throw out the things that make you feel like crap. Like you don't need it anymore. This is like such a short life. Like, do the things that bring you joy. Jiu-jitsu. Does that bring you joy? Do it. Do not wait for a woman or do not wait for the promotion. Do not wait for more money. Do not wait. And you don't have to spend money on this. Do not wait for the person or situation to change in order for your internal structure to change. That's not how it works. When your internal structure changes, your external changes. So if you got no money, then you know what? Find a way still to like, make your clothes look and feel good on you. Tuck them in, right? Clean your socks, wash your stuff, take care of it. Walk outside, like take a walk and a lap because that'll make your nervous system regulate more. And automatically when you're in motion, it moves the trapped trauma from your body. It starts the journey of it. You still got to do more work when you got trauma, but it starts to move the this sunk energy in your body, and it'll give you hope. It'll give you forward motion. So do those little things. Call a couple friends that you trust, that you love. Like jump into things that bring you joy. And when you're giving your heart more joy, you're naturally going to be around. People are going to gravitate. Women will come up to you. I guarantee it. I've coached close to 2,000 men all over the world at this point. I've coached way more than that, but I can't, like, I don't have all of my numbers because I didn't count for like 3 years. So I've coached men all around the world. I am excellent at getting my truck driver dudes. I have video testimonial of them saying, Natalie, I did this work. And like, I go places and like, I drive my truck and I go and I walk around and like women are coming up to me. And I'm like, I am that good. And it happens to all of them. It is an internal game. The external changes.
Yeah, beautiful women come to me in abundance. You can say stuff like that. Now, confidence and attraction goes hand in hand.
Oh, well, I do want to add to this, though, too. If you say something to yourself and you're blowing smoke up your ass and you don't truly believe it, that's where people can trip it up. So if you're like, beautiful women, only beautiful women come up to me, only beautiful women come up to me, but secretly inside it goes, no, they don't. That's the voice you want to work on. And you actually want to use truth. And that's the biggest thing is don't just blow smoke up your ass. No toxic positivity. I hate that shit. Instead, if you're like, you know what? Quality women and women that I'm attracted to and that are attracted to me, they do approach me. And I am allowed to fall in love with myself and be around women that I'm attracted to and that are also attracted to me. I'm allowed that. And then that actually, when you can bounce off truth, the truth will actually start to feel really good. And that'll be what the frequency matches.
No, that's really good insight. Now, what are some of the like top 3 qualities that make someone a great partner?
3 qualities that make someone a great partner. You guys such great questions. Are you taking notes?
I did a lot of notes on you.
I love it. I gotta ask you some questions. Why did you get into podcasting and doing this? I'm curious about this. This one, and then you get a question. So the top 3 qualities I would say is emotional awareness, EQ, emotional intelligence, make an excellent leader, active listening, not just listening, but like active communication. And let's see, authenticity. I think just being down with knowing who you are and being cool with it, and being cool with like also growing. So growth mindset / authenticity, EQ, emotional intelligence, and yeah, and the communication, active listening. I mean, that's just like boom. That's gonna make people gravitate toward you. That's gonna The more that you know yourself and you show up as yourself, and not the like, I'm just who I am, screw you. That's a wound. But that, like, you know what? I am introvert and I am anxious. Like, that's me. Like, I still have anxiety. I had anxiety earlier today, right? And I wrote my director and I was like, um, and and I still know that I'm worthy and deserving. So authenticity is like just knowing who you are and like being able to show up with that so that the right people can find you. That's a big one. Okay, your turn.
Go for it.
Why did you get into podcasting? What is it? What is Every Day is Friday? What led you to do this?
Well, every day is Friday stands for like a freedom feeling. End of the work week, you feel free. And I love diving into the stories and experiences from people from all walks of life.
I love that. Yeah, that's kind of why I do what I do too, is every day is Friday, honestly. Like, when you love yourself and you love your life, it's not going to feel like that heavy work week anymore. It's not going to feel like, and things are such a drag. Like, yeah, you can actually, I try and get people out of that capitalistic mindset too, of like, success, you have to bleed for success. No, you don't. That's a lie. You know, relationships are hard. No, 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 no. Some things can be difficult, but you can learn how to make this easy. You can
Yeah, and
learn how to have fun with it.
I like to say it's about the journey, not the destination, but the personal development throughout the journey for me.
Oh yeah. That's the hardest one for me though too. I know that, but it's still hard because I want the destination to kind of I'm someone that's like, I want what I want and I want it yesterday. And I've had to do so much work on like, success isn't a journey. Success isn't a journey. You're having fun on a journey.
And
Yeah, but yeah.
and personally, I really do love talking about topics like this, especially. Like, I really resonated with you on your Instagram page. I mean, I was going to talk
Yeah.
to you. I was going to ask you a question right now. Now, if like a person that you want to be with is spending time with you, but also like in touch with their ex, what should you
Oh
do?
yeah. I would look at what you're looking for. If you're wanting to be with them and you're more ready for a relationship, and this person is still communicating with their ex. Now, if they're communicating with their ex because they have a kid, there's, certain things that they need to deal with. Perhaps maybe a dog. Sometimes I'm iffy on that one. It depends. I think that I think it's finding out and looking at, is this person still communicating with their ex? Now, if you're dating this person and you're looking for something serious and this person is still like in love with their ex and texting their ex, and like, no, just you don't sit around pining, because what you're doing is you're in the energy of lack, and you're in the energy of like scarcity mindset. Like, oh, she's the only one out there. I can't find someone else that's actually ready and done the inner work. No. So what you're doing is you're in a wound. And what it is that you're afraid of not being good enough. And chances are that comes from childhood, of either growing up with a parent that cheated, or growing up with a parent that abandoned you and you felt like you needed to prove yourself, like, or you had to constantly take care of the family and you grew up way too fast too soon. So it usually comes from a childhood wound where you're still enacting that feeling of like, I'm not enough, like, I'm not chosen, I'm tossed to the side. If you watched your siblings get love and you got tossed to the side, like, that's the same energy. So you would heal that and really start to look at boundaries. Like, no, I deserve someone. Here's a boundary. I don't want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with me. Period. You know how I've crossed that boundary myself so many times, even as a coach. And I had to get my butt kicked on it. So the most important part is why. Why is that boundary there? So I don't want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with me. Why? Because it feels awful. It is so painful and I don't deserve it. And it makes me waste my time, and it makes me not pay attention to people who are ready and trying to get my attention. I'm just, because here's the other thing too. You're focused on this person who's focused on their ex, right? Meanwhile, there's 3 other women who are trying to get your attention and date you. So you're doing the exact same thing that she's doing and getting upset over it. She's focused on the ex. You're focused on her, both emotionally unavailable, and these people are trying to get your attention. Now, these 3 women should walk away from you because you're focused on emotionally unavailable as opposed to like actually doing your inner work and learning how to find the emotionally available ones.
Now, now I know like a lot of people are in tough situations a lot of the times. Now, let's say you're in a situation that you're dating a girl and she likes to stay in touch with her ex. What should you do?
Anytime that you're in a toxic situation, it's hard. I used to try and get my clients out of it. Like back in the day when I first started, now I'm a drill sergeant in my coaching. So like I tell them what to do, they can do it. But what I noticed is as I've grown and they would do really well and all that. But here's what I've noticed is this is going to be a spiritual lesson or a life lesson for you. So my advice is you want to turn and face it. So journal this out and start doing the inner work and healing on why is it that you stay stuck in situations that you don't feel wanted? Why do you go against your own boundaries? What is it in you that makes you stay there? And then I would communicate with her and talk about it and go, hey, let's talk about solution. I'm not feeling great here. I please help me understand why do you need to reach out and talk to your ex still, right? If there's really not a good reason and you know it, do more inner work, pause, process, let that pass. And then journal will help you access your intuition and it'll help you make the right decisions and stick with them. So if you're like, here's the boundary, like you're going to have to let this person go because it's not safe for our container. It's not safe for us. You're leaking energy over here. You know, I do deserve to feel safe in this too. How would you feel if I was doing the same? Right? As she continues, then you have your answer. You're with someone that it's not about you. She's not. Here's the reason why people stay too long. You keep taking it personally and thinking that she's doing it at you. And you're not understanding that she's in trauma and she's in a trauma loop and she doesn't believe that she's worthy and deserving of anything healthy. And it's not your job to play God and it's not your job to be someone's father. It's not your job to play their therapist and change their brain. You cannot do that. You cannot go into someone's brain and change her limiting beliefs. You're dating to see if she's doing the work. So if she keeps thinking and believing that she's not worthy and deserving of healthy love, no matter what you do or say, she's going to sabotage anyway. So we stop taking other people's trauma personally. So when they show that trauma and they're not doing anything about it and they're not willing to do anything about it, she's going to destroy you because she's destroying herself. It's not your job to rescue and save people. It's your job to have boundaries. And 9 times out of 10, and this is the hard part because if you do this, I guarantee you'll get her back. And this is the hard part because it works. And sometimes you can wind up with someone still that's like not doing their work. But if you go, hey, we need 30 days no contact, like you need to work on this because I've asked and you keep talking to your ex and now I'm not safe in this container and I'm not willing to not be safe, period. We both deserve to feel safe and you want to make unsafe choices for us, not cool with it, not a teammate. So I'm going to take 30 days. I hope you work on yourself because I think that there's something here. I think you're absolutely amazing. I believe in you. And I'm happy to check in with you in 30 days and see how it's going. But like, I need to take a break from this because I'm not willing to put myself in something. So I'm going to heal from this and I'm going to work on moving on. That is so sexy and so impressive. Most of the time, someone is going to act right and step up. The only issue is that if they really don't maintain it or actually like do the inner work, then you'll wind up in the same situation again. But usually in that 30 days, you're working with someone, chances are you'll be able to tell fast, like you'll reach out to them 30 days and you'll tell that like, no, they're not really doing the work. So you'll go, so great to hear from you. So happy you're doing well. I don't feel anything here anymore like that, but like, I'm so happy for our time together. I learned so much. You're incredible. And I wish you the best.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. I'm hoping a lot of listeners are taking notes.
Oh yeah. We do have a tendency to like try and fight for things because we think that like they're doing something at us and we take it personally, not realizing that heal your wound. Sorry, I'm going to grab, I think I have a tissue here. A little bit of my nose is tickling, but heal your wound. And the more that you actually heal your wound, the more that you're going to be able to see if someone's a match for you or not. You won't need them to change in order to feel better.
Now, what's the best way to move on after a breakup?
Um, Apologies, guys. I have sinuses. Let's see. Best way to move on. Best way to move on after a breakup. Face it. Do not. I mean, some of you guys can drink and like, try and distract yourself with another woman. But if you distract yourself, time doesn't heal wounds. Doing the inner work does. If you distract yourself, you're gonna date the same type of person again the next time. The moment that you forget your pain and forget like how hard that was because you just distracted yourself enough, you'll date the same thing over and over again. So the best way to move on from someone is to take a break, give yourself a few weeks, and double down on falling in love with yourself. Learn and congratulate yourself on like what you grew. What did you learn? How did you show up for this relationship? What are the ways that you really liked? And what are the things that you would improve on? So when you can reframe it and go, what did I learn from this so I can grow? And let me now do some things that bring my heart joy. What are the wounds that I can take to like a behavioral therapist or a coach or whatever? That'll move you through a lot faster. But if you're brave enough, get brave enough to face those icky emotions, sit with those things. Don't escape. Don't use someone to make you feel better because you feel icky. It's going to lead you to the same thing again. So get brave enough to face the scary emotions. Oh no, sadness. Oh no, hurt, but work with a professional too, because you don't need, if there's voices in your head that are calling you names, work with someone to get rid of those. It's not true. They're not true. So that's kind of the biggest thing. Work with a professional, reframe negative voices, compliment yourself, feel the emotions, but don't dwell on them. Go 30 days. Do not reread text messages, look at photos, or stalk them. You're already gonna hurt. Don't add more hurt. And you'll move through it and like keep going with that mindset of like, damn, I learned a lot. And you know what? I'm grateful. I opened up. You will level up. No matter what, you will level up.
Yeah, breakups can be so hard. Now, do you suggest a journal, like what your actual spouse or your future girlfriend would like you want out of her, or like what you want out of someone?
Yeah, I recommend journaling every day anyway, because it actually dumps the trash out of your brain and makes the voices in your head go quiet. So, and it helps you with intuition and decision making. It's sick. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years. It's one of the fastest tools to access your subconscious, because we don't think in the subconscious. We behave automatically from it, and you're not even aware. So you'll learn everything you need to know. So I recommend journaling your feelings. Number one thing, though, is do not journal anything that is disrespectful to yourself. Be respectful to yourself. If the voices in your head are rude or disrespectful, you can ask yourself why and where they're coming from, mom or dad, and then do the work on them and speak in solution. But yeah, I recommend you can just do it like one time, but you can write out all the things that you're looking for in a partner and how you want to feel is the most important. How do you want to feel in a relationship? And then what are the things that are important for you for a relationship? Yeah, write that out because it'll help you. And then as you date, add things to that list and then cross things off when you realize that like, oh, that's not actually, I don't need someone that does karaoke every night. I just want someone that like every now and again loves to sing with me, or, it'll help you with that first 5 minutes of realizing whether or not that someone is, maybe on the right track or, are not the right one.
No, I like how you said that. It's write it down and write down how you want to feel.
Write down how you want to feel, because it'll help you with identifying when you don't feel that way in a relationship. It'll give you clarity on if it's the right one or not. If it's like, if you're constantly having to feel like you need to prove yourself and you really want to feel empowered and safe in a relationship, you're out of alignment for yourself. And then you'll be able to know how to communicate with her. Hey, listen, I'm feeling like I need to prove myself to you. And I know that's not your intention. I feel like sometimes it's like, when you're questioning me a lot instead of like talking to me and believing in me and empowering me, it just feels different. Can we work on this? Or is this, what's going on here? And if she's like, well, I just don't like trust you because you keep fucking up, then you're like, oh, we're out. I'm out.
Now, how do you know
I
if you're
want to feel safe.
settling in a relationship?
Again, the more you know yourself and the more that you access your own intuition and feel, if you distract yourself with work and sex and drugs and alcohol, harder to tell. But if you can get still and do the journaling and like even meditation, you'll know. There's no way in heck you won't know. It's actually the more that you trust yourself and the more that you fall in love with your life and the more that, you know, you're giving back to yourself and your heart, you're going to tell so much faster. It's a frequency match or it's not, because you'll be able to tell if she's showing up for you the way that you're showing up for you. And that's how you can tell it, between, like, you don't have to overgive. It's not about overgiving or like being crazy about, you know, self-indulgence. You'll know if it's like that steady, like, I give back to others, I give to myself, I'm doing that inner work, I'm finding balance, you know, work and play. Look up the 7 areas of in life to maintain balance. You know, you're taking care of your friendships, your family members, time with them, hobbies, gym time, or like workout time or whatever, spirituality or growth, however you want to call it, relationships. And when you're in that balance and you're feeling it and you're like, no, I know I'm in balance, then you'll be able to tell like what's going on, how to communicate it, and if that person's down to grow with you.
No, that's really great insight. Now, I mean, how do you keep your standards high without being too picky with dating?
It's being honest with yourself and checking your fears. Are you someone that's constantly isolating and pushing people away, you know, and masking it as, oh, I just have high standards? I actually know a lot of people, I get that a lot, where people will say they have high standards, but they actually have zero standards. Zero. They just are super guarded and they push people away. So it's about being rigorously honest with yourself. Once you can be honest with yourself, you can find the solution. I've done that. I've done that before. I was like, I just have high standards. And really what it was is I picked everyone apart. I found everything wrong with them because I was so scared of getting hurt. So standards and boundaries allow people in, and they allow the right people in, and they help you walk away from the wrong ones. But they don't like push people away. They just help you with like how you behave with the right ones and the wrong ones.
And what's the best piece of advice for someone who's struggling with self-doubt with dating?
You got to get help. I did. I had so many coaches and therapists. We don't do this alone. That's insane. Even if it's a friend who like has done so much work on themselves, find out what they did. If they have an amazing relationship and self-love, find out what they did and do that. I have a best friend right now that her and I talk every day and we check in with each other and we're like, how are you doing? How's your mental health today? Right? Did you go to the gym? Are you overworking? Did you, what are you saying? What are your affirmations? So I do affirmations every day. And then when I have voices in my head that say, it's never going to happen for you, you're screwed, blah, 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 I do limiting belief exercise work with someone, which means it looks like going to a somatic experiencing therapist. It's a therapist who helps you with like connecting mind, body, and feeling your emotions so you stop avoiding them. Because I do that. I'm an avoidant when I'm triggered. So I'll overwork just so I don't feel my emotions because I'm scared of them. I'm scared of those voices in my head. We all are. So I work with people. I get honest and I get help. So I do not recommend doing this alone. I did it for years alone and I got my butt kicked. I have 3 coaches. I have a manifestation coach. I have a life coach and career coach. I have a somatic experiencer. I have, I have a hypnotherapist. I'm like, nope, not today. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna fix this. So don't get with a good community. There's also 12-step programs. There's free programs. There's free groups. There's meetup.com that are good for like self-help groups. So you could do so much for free. You don't have to hire someone that's expensive. I know I'm pricey, but I'm good. But as soon that's why I do podcasts and do these things, because I try so hard to get this information out there as I can. I try and get it out there. So thank you, by the way, too, for asking me to come on and getting to be of service. I really do appreciate that. But yeah, get help, get with good groups. If you're around people who are negative and put you down, away from them. Get away from them. because there's no reason for you to be put down or here. You wouldn't do that to other people. Don't allow that for yourself. And you don't have to like isolate yourself from everyone. Instead of cutting everyone off, give yourself good stuff first. So find the groups that are good, find a couple friends that are good, go to best friend. You can do Bumble best friend and start looking for people that like speak kindly to themselves and speak kindly to others and respectfully. And it's a game changer. Who you're around helps influence the voices in your head.
Yeah, we all have moments of doubt. That's 100% true. Now, how can someone handle rejection without like letting it crush their confidence?
Mindset, like you talked about. Mindset. You don't have to not hurt over rejection like I did. Like I messaged someone last night and they didn't write me back, and I didn't like that. But then I pause and I remember something that's really important for me. Every time that I have forced myself on someone, and I don't mean like that, like, you know, I mean forced my will on someone, made them want me, made them date me, made them hang out with me. Every time that I have forced something, that person has been awful. I mean, awful. I've had to call the FBI on exes before because I thought that guy was great and I should just make it happen. No, oh my God. Even friendships. I've had bad, like terrible friendships. I had a friend that like doused like gasoline on someone's car because she was upset with them. Like now I have amazing people around me. So every time that I have forced something and like made something happen with someone because I was insecure, it's always been the worst person for me that me up. So for me, I just go into like, nope, universe has got it. I am not forcing my will on anything anymore. I am so done with shitty lessons. You go, universe, God, whatever you pray to, David Bowie in the sky. You show me who I'm supposed to be with. I'm not. It's literally, it's that. So let yourself feel it and then reframe it. Don't avoid the emotions. It's okay to be like, hello, I know I'm pretty. I just got rejected. It's fine. I'm allowed to be like, but you know what? I also remember this. I don't want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with me. I don't want to be with someone who's scared of me. I don't want to be with someone who hasn't done any work and could potentially abuse me. I don't want that anymore. I want to be with someone who wants to show up. I want to be with someone who makes me feel amazing. So if I'm talking to someone and I don't feel good, then I don't want it. And that was the hardest lesson, the hardest, because I did that in my career too. I worked on projects with people that were terrible and the projects would fall apart because they were toxic and rude and cruel and mean. And it triggered me to people please. So I've learned this the hard way so many times. I stop forcing what's not meant for me and let go so I can focus on the ones who actually do make me feel great. So write down a list of people in your life that actually make you feel wanted, safe, and credible. Focus on them, get around them. And when something like this happens, it's easier to remember that like, ooh, no, I don't like that feeling. Let me refocus on the people and double up on the people that like, it feels great to be around. Get that in your body more. The more that you have that in your body, the more that you're a frequency match and you'll naturally swipe on people who are better for you.
So true. Now, rejection is just part of life, and it's not easy. I tell you that much.
Correct. And just remember that you don't want to live a life full of regrets. Rejection, what rejection is it's a redirection. Every time that you get a no, it's redirecting you to your yes. I do get it. If you get a lot of no's and you're feeling really down and out, it's usually because you're getting around the wrong rooms and the wrong people because there's trauma. That's all. It's just creating that self-fulfilling prophecy. So as hard as it is, sometimes we can be addicted to sadness and depression. It can be an addiction. You can wind up being so, because it's a false sense of safety. At least I'm alone. At least no one's going to hurt me. I've done that. I was addicted to pain for a while, like the pain of a man choosing another woman or a casting director choosing another actress. Just like, I'm just not enough and they don't see me and and I always pick this. But I realized I was so addicted to marinating and that self-pity because that's how I related to the world. And that's what I would talk to my friends about, pain. I didn't know how to talk about happiness. I didn't know how to talk about gratitude. I didn't know how to focus on the great things going on in my life. And that took me a long time too. So I do a gratitude list every night before I go to sleep. 5 things that I'm grateful for that day, not for tomorrow, not for yesterday, today. And it switches and it starts to change your neural pathway. Whatever you focus on expands. So you focus on the good, you'll walk towards more good, the good will expand. If you focus on the shit, you're going to walk towards more shit because that's what you told your brain to focus on to give you. Our brains are very, very simple. Whatever you tell it to focus on, it's going to go, okay, boss, that way. That way. Toxic. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I feel like small changes can make a big difference in your life. Now, I know we were talking about journaling and a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, what's like a daily habit that helps you build confidence? Is it like speaking to the mirror to yourself or anything like that?
Some of those you don't have to do the mirror thing. You can if you want to. If you're going to do the mirror thing, then find 3 to 5 things that you love on your body, just in case. Because I call it the Michael Jackson effect. When we have nothing but time and we stare at the mirror, you might accidentally focus on the things that you don't love, and by accident in your brain will make those areas look bigger. And it's not true. It's not a representation of the truth. It's just perception. So if you focus on the areas that you love, those will expand. So for anyone who has issues with like body dysmorphia or stuff like that, do not focus on the things that you don't love. Those will actually right size when you focus on the good things. So my daily that I recommend, and I teach people how to do it through my program, journal, meditation, affirmations, gratitude list every day. Journal, meditation, affirmations, gratitude list. Journal, meditation, affirmations, gratitude list. Now, affirmations, I do it in a specific way because we do it from your limiting beliefs. So if it's like, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving of love, women are all crazy, then we find your truth, like an actual truth, not fake truth. And it's more of like, no, I am worthy and deserving of love, no matter what. Like other people are, I am too, period. I am worthy and deserving of falling in love with myself and learning how to find people who also have. I do not have to fix other people's issues anymore to be loved. I am allowed to be me and be loved. I'm enough. And so this now, you say that every day. And that's like, because those are simple truths. But the opposite of them is actually what was getting around, toxic people. So affirmations, yes. Journaling and meditation, journaling prompts. Just start writing. Journaling prompts for self-love. So journaling prompts for growth, whatever. Just Google. Meditation allows you to pause. So that way, whenever you have an emotion or a feeling or whatever, you're not reacting and sending that stupid text or saying that dumb thing that you regret later. Meditation is going to help you, like when you're faced with the decision of pick the toxic woman or pick the quality one, and you're getting triggered and you want to prove yourself to the toxic, you'll wind up naturally pausing in that moment and going, no, this is a boundary. This is this. Gratitude lists are psychologically proven. It is proven to change your neural pathway and to help you focus on good and walk toward more good. So those 4 things is a daily habit. I do other things too, manifestation work, all that, but that's my baseline of like journal, meditation, affirmations, gratitude list. Journal, meditation, affirmations, gratitude list.
I love that. I feel like your mind has to be stronger than your feelings at times.
Yeah, or I think what it is too is having a better relationship with your feelings. When you're scared of your feelings, and you shove them down, you're going to be ruled by them. We're taught to be upset about jealousy, anger, resentment, fear, blah, 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 blah. There's nothing wrong with those feelings. When you have a better relationship with them, game changer. So when I experience jealousy, not if, when I experience jealousy, I can either be super upset and freak out about it, or I can realize the reason why I'm experiencing jealousy is because I'm massively off my alignment. I'm not doing what I should be doing today, period. So jealousy is there to move you to focus on what you need.
No,
Sadness helps you connect with humanity. Sorry, keep going.
No, you're perfectly fine. That's a really great insight. Now, I know a lot of guys out there. They like to throw themselves in the category of nice guy. Now, how can someone shift from a nice guy mindset to being like a high value man?
Yeah. Nice guy, usually it's not really that it's nice. It's a common misconception because really like you're people pleasing and you're doing it for other people to like you. So that's not nice. That's selfish. Selfish. because you're not, you're wanting people to like you, and you're not comfortable with having boundaries because it's usually coming from, again, a trauma or pain from the past. You were taught that, like, you had to acquiesce. So nice guy is great. Nice guy is way better than toxic motherfucker. So much better. It's easier for me to help a nice guy than to get a guy who hates women to, like, not beat a woman or like dehumanize her. And I do coach people that have come from red pill. I do coach men who have hated women and have been abused by women, and they hate them, hate them, hate them. It's hard. It's much more difficult. It's not my favorite, but my nice guys, oh, I can teach you like that, because what it is that you're just not being nice to yourself. You're putting yourself last and on the back burner. And what you're showing a woman is that you're not safe at all. Because if you don't know how to put yourself first and do what's best for you, then you're not going to do what's best for our container, and you're not going to do what's best for us. You can't make those difficult decisions to go, no, Betsy Sue, that's toxic. That's not okay. My family's not safe here. We're out. And instead you're going to be with every Tom, Schmo, Larry, and Flary or whatever. And you're going to constantly people please and say yes, say yes, say yes. You're a yes man. So what it shows me is that if you put yourself on the back burner, then when push comes to shove by accident, you're going to put me on the back burner. What does that look like? So if you're uncomfortable with speaking up, and you're uncomfortable with your emotions, and you're uncomfortable with rocking the boat, then let's say that you and I are in a conversation and I'm about to do something stupid, or I'm having pain, or I'm having emotions. You're not going to guide me correctly. You're going to tell me to dismiss my emotions, to put myself on the back burner. You're going to try and fix my emotions to make me feel better because you're uncomfortable. And now I'm going to feel off because you're telling me to, like, not speak up, or, not process. You're going to tell me instead to, like, how do we change you? How do we make you feel better? Because I'm uncomfortable. So that's the reason why too, is that what you're showing me is, if you're a nice guy, you're uncomfortable with rocking the boat. You're uncomfortable with those difficult conversations. You're not going to tell me what you need. And that's not a partnership. I'm not going to know you. That's not fair. That's not fair that if I screw up, you don't have my back to tell me that I screwed up. So that's what it is too, is it's like, I'm going to mess up in a relationship too, because I'm learning and I'm growing. I need someone that's going to be able to go, hey, Natalie, you emasculated me there. That hurt. And I'm going to go, oh my God, you're right. I'm so sorry. I received what you said as a threat for some reason. And I threw it back at you. Let me do work around that one. Thank you for bringing that up. That was me turning into my childhood. Let me make sure that you're safe in this relationship too. Thank you. Because when you're safe in the relationship with us, we're going to go a lot further. I'm not going to feel like I'm walking on eggshells. You're not going to feel like you're walking on eggshells. So that's why it's really easy for me to get a nice guy to be a respectful gentleman like that, because you're already right there. You already have it in your bones. I just got to teach you to, like, have boundaries and communicate, and teach you why you want to speak up, and why it's okay to rock the boat, and why it's okay to let a woman feel her feelings and not try and change or fix her. Like, boundaries, do her thing, whatever, and then be a partner. You're the echoes of a gentleman, and the echoes of a great leader are already in you when you're a nice guy. That's an easy flip for me.
No, I can see that being a really easy flip for you, and a very, very, like, it's not like they're toxic or anything. They just need to just self-growth and understand who they are and what they're supposed to be. Do you suggest to ask men to ask women on the first date, or maybe like the third date or something like that, what's the role of a woman in a relationship and a man?
You mean like that to find out whether or not, like, they want, like, family, stay at home with the kids, or equality, or like that kind of thing?
Kind of like if you're in alignment with them, like you're going down the same path.
Oh, yeah. Within the first 3 dates, you're already asking about core values and whether or not, like, what it looks like. You'll find that out. Like, I don't think chivalry is dead. I definitely don't agree with the BS that feminism has killed relationships. That's silly. because most people don't know that back in the day, primal, men and women worked together. So primal cavemen, men were always arms distance away from children in order to teach emotional grounding and emotional stability. So men actually, when they're healed in a relationship and in family, men are extremely detrimental to families because they teach emotional grounding. So when men don't have emotional awareness, it can make it throws off everything. It makes everyone uncomfortable. It's a lack of protection. So emotional safety is extremely important. A quality woman, the number one thing she looks for is emotional safety, period. So women it was hunter gatherers. Gatherer was a task. That was a work. That was a job. Men can't hunt all through the year. You don't have that ability. It snows. It does whatever. You got things. We worked together. So it was community. It was a team. We vibed with each other. So what happened is it was in like it was in some cultures and communities, we just started telling people that like white men are better than black men and men are better than women. It's a lie. Come on now, guys. We haven't figured that out in 2025. Duh. It was just a lie to get stupid stuff. Anyway, chivalry's there. Equality's is easy. It's about everyone's got different strengths. So what you're doing is you're finding out, do you guys align on your core values? Do you guys want to travel together? Do you guys want to be humanitarians together? Do you guys want to have a family together? Do you want it to where you want to provide more and you want the nurture more at home? As long as she's happy and she has hobbies and stuff, easy. But it's got to be her alignment too, right? I'm not a family type like that. It's not in me. I don't feel it. I've never wanted children. I love family though. I love my family. I love getting to travel with my brother and my mom and my dad and my sister-in-law and my niece. Like, I love that. But for me, my alignment is like, I do better with people that they want to go to different countries and explore different cultures and learn about people and do podcasts and public speaking. And that I need to know that I've given back legacy that way. Right. So for me, it's going to be important to find people that love freedom and travel and humanitarianism and communication and respect. Those are my core values. So if yours are like family, spirituality, growth, stability, amazing. So when you ask questions to someone, you're going to gear them and ask them in ways that see if they're in alignment with where you're going and what you want. And you're going to see if she's going the same way. Otherwise, you guys are going to part ways. And the longer you hold on, it's going to cause pain. But that's what you're dating for. Those first 2 months is you're dating to find out, do we align? Do we have fun together? Are we going the same place? Does it look the same? Right? And then after that, it's do actions match words.
Yeah, I realized if she's interested in you, she'll make time. I mean, no one is too busy for someone that they truly want to be with.
Exactly.
Now, okay, so why do people stay in bad relationships?
It's a frequency match. What it is it's triggering their trauma, and the voices in their head are telling them that it's their fault. No one's ever going to love them. They must have done something wrong. It's why shaming someone or trying to force someone out of a toxic relationship doesn't work. Or even if they run away from it, they'll run into it again and again. So that's my specialty, is I specialize in toxic relationships. So the way to out is inner work, is heal from those negative voices in you and start learning how to fall in love with yourself, and you'll be able to get out of it a lot faster. Turn and face the pain and the hurt, and like really start working on if you're questioning, why am I in this, or is this right for me? Work with someone that you trust. Work with a solid trauma therapist, and it'll help. Or someone that has access in that field. Yeah.
Now, how can someone develop that mindset of in their life and love?
Which mindset?
Of just finding a relationship, basically. Is it just journaling?
Yeah, no, I mean, it, no, it's the information's out there. So there's a bunch of books on it. There's a bunch of coaches that help with it. It's Joe Dispenza. It's myself. It's NLP. It's the law of attraction, the law of the universe. Learning the trauma work. The number one thing it would be like trauma therapy, right? Not talk therapy. Talk therapy is just talking at your issues. You have to do a behavioral and like subconscious reframe. So there's so much information out there on it. Like if people want to get in touch with me to book a coaching session and see, like it takes about 90 days, something like that. It takes 30 days to break bad habits, which is like negative voices in your head. It takes 60 days to build new habits, which is like nice voices in your head. And it takes 90 to make it permanent, which is the studies on it and the science on it. So you tackle, write a list of what you want. Write out the voices in your head that are saying that you can't have it. Work with someone to undo that stuff. And then boom, then there you go. You're off to the races.
Now, how has social media changed the way people date?
Giving us more information. There's a bonus and a positive and a negative. Everyone has been addicted to dopamine hits since the dawn of time. It's just, you can just get addicted to that too. And comparison. We've always compared, right? We've always tried to keep up with the Joneses. You're just doing the same thing. Social media it's the same stuff. Nothing has changed in the world. Our level of consciousness has. But primal, we're still human since the dawn of time, okay? The thing that's changed is access to information, but also access to disinformation. So for me personally, honestly, social media has helped me with finding access to information that I had no idea about. I found a manifestation coach that I worked with 2 years ago who helped me realize that like, I could help people with pulling trauma out of their body. I still had trauma in my body that was making me pick really bad things. And I had no idea. And I didn't know about somatic experiencing. That changed the game for me, all because I found it on social media. So, it's access to information, but also access to disinformation.
No, so true. I mean, dating looks so much different today than it did years ago.
There's a lot of similarities, though. It's still, the psychology behind it's still the same. You attract what you are inside. You let in what you tell yourself. That's gonna be a forever human thing. We've got, now you can go online and find some more people or whatever. And like, you can open up your network on things. It's not just going to be like, whoever's in your high school and whoever's in your tribe. Like, you get to expand a little bit more, go to another country, jump on a dating app, see who's around, connect, date. I think there's a lot of positives. It's all in your mindset. If you look at it as a negative, you're only going to really get a confirmation bias, a negative.
Now, would you say it's easier finding a date today because of online dating and all the apps they can use?
Mindset again, it doesn't. If you think that it's harder and you're having a hard time, it won't matter. You'll go on a dating app by accident and swipe on bots at, and you'll go to places like a bar to pick up a woman and you're sober. And it's like, what are you doing? You want to find the love of your life in a bar? In a bar. You love philanthropy and artistry and going to Comic-Con, and you think you're going to find the love of your life not doing what you love, but at a bar. Like that's what happens when you have that mindset. When you're like, nothing ever works, everything's shit. And it's like, well, you're going to do that then. But if you're like, damn, I'm excited about today. I always meet amazing people. Like you'll be walking down the street and meet someone. I happened to me yesterday.
Now, what are some of the red flags to watch out for on online dating?
Red flags are on online dating, the wounds and negativity. Anytime you're seeing wounds or negativity, like, this is a no BS zone. Like, I don't allow this in my life. It means they accidentally do and they haven't healed from it. That's the biggest red flag, biggest one.
I don't know. I just seem like it's a lot easier for women on the dating apps than men. I feel like the women, they have the dating app is just full of messaging. And then the guys are just like, they got a few here or there. It's very hard to, get on a date sometimes. Now, what would you say to that?
BS. If the woman, her belief systems are, I'm solid and I get a lot of matches, or if it's, I keep getting all these matches, but they all suck. Sure, she'll have a bunch of DMs on her. Same with a guy. It's your mindset. It doesn't matter how many gorgeous women are out there and don't think that they're gorgeous. So they'll get around nothing. I am a beautiful woman. I know that. I did not know that growing up. Up until like 7 years ago, I used to go out and I would go to places, events, and I would be standing alone in a room full of people who wouldn't talk to me. And I used to have people it was just my energy. My energy was off. So I'm sorry, but your looks don't matter. It's your energy. So whether or not you're on an app, I have clients all the time that they don't change their photos and they don't change their information on the app. I'll have them go through my 90-day program, and the last 2 weeks, I'll have them go on and start swiping, and they'll immediately get more matches. Why? Because they've changed. They've changed, so who they're swiping on changes, and they're quality women. I will never let my clients settle. Are you out of your mind? That's insane. That goes against everything. You're supposed to be attracted to and have mutual attraction with the people you're supposed to be with, period. So they go on, and all of a sudden they're getting way more matches. Nothing's changed, but they have. So again, it's your energy and it's your mindset. It's your energy and your mindset.
Now, what do you suggest for men when they match with a woman on one of these dating apps? What is the first thing they should do?
Say hi, comment on something. I mean, wait till your heart rate goes down. And then once your heart rate goes down, do not immediately message, because you're not in the right frame of mind. You're in amygdala. Do not play games. It's not about waiting 20 minutes and counting every time. That's bullshit. You want to wait for your heart rate to go down. So go for a walk, take 10 minutes, or if your heart rate's down, great, but still wait like a few minutes. And then what you do is you look for something that's commonality on her profile. If there's a book that she has on there that you've read, if there's a place that she's gone that you've gone, look for commonality and open with that, like comment on that. Like, oh my goodness, I went to Japan 2 times last year. Like, I absolutely loved it. I can't believe you've been to Nara. That was Nara, right? How did you like it? And then boom, now you guys already have commonality and you're just talking about commonality. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have a few conversations over the course of like 3 days, not all the time. You know, you can skip a day, and then you'll find the reason why you guys should absolutely go to coffee and keep talking about your commonality.
Now, do you suggest a phone call or a FaceTime before you go on that first date?
To you, it doesn't matter. That's personal preference. If you want to, go for it. Hey, I'd love to jump on the phone, get to know you, talk a little bit, and then let's see about going on a date. It's personal preference. Doesn't matter. First date should be pretty simple anyway. Especially if you don't have a FaceTime or phone call, then do coffee, because then you won't be able to tell if there's any chemistry until you actually like are in person with them. Oh, question though too. Oh, we're about to hit like an hour and a half. I do have to work today. How much longer are you gonna ask me all of my questions?
I only got a few more. Do you have a couple more minutes?
I got a couple more minutes. Yes. There's a part of me that's like, you might have to book you.
Now, how
my whole 90 day in an hour.
No, I love this conversation. I love the topic we're talking about. I feel really passionate about it, same as you. And I appreciate you for hopping on the podcast. I have great gratitude towards you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, I love this. I was just making sure because I was like, I gotta message this client, let him know I'm late. He's in an hour. He's fine. Yeah.
Now, how can someone stand out in a world of social media distractions?
Stay what? Stay.
Now, how can they stand out in their social media platform?
Stand out.
Yes.
Authenticity. The less you care about standing out and you're just you, then the more you will. It's about learning what you love and what lights your heart up and sharing that. It's all energy. When you're passionate and like healed in something, then more people are going to gravitate toward you. You're going to let more people get to find you. But that's really it. Right? I've had to come to terms with that. Like, I'm very political. I'm extremely political, right? Everything for me is politics because I'm a humanitarian. And I am here to help people with picking better. Now on the macro level, on the micro level, it's relationships. On the macro, it's politicians. Because when we have unhealed trauma, you pick really bad politicians. It's just what we do. And it doesn't matter left or right. Both sides can do that, right? You pick criminals. You pick people stealing and robbing from you. So I I had to really come to terms with being authentic and facing my fear of like, there's a lot of nastiness online. Even as a coach on YouTube, the amount of disgusting comments I'll get on YouTube when I post information to help men is ridiculous. But I can't look at that stuff. There's bots, there's stupidity, there's ignorance, there's hatred, there's dehumanizing of women and marginalized communities. My God, it's insane. To get attacked and to feel like you're getting attacked, but to still show up, it's not the easiest. So I've had to do a lot of work and therapy on, you know what? I am here to serve the collective. I am here to help. I am here to be of service. And if there's, I've done so much research of 20 years of research. I've got a degree in psychology, a minor in propaganda and PR and communications. I've got, I was studying double major criminology and psychology. I know about private prison systems. My dissertation was on them. I know about the effects of media on the brain and us. And I studied trauma for 20 years, addiction and all kinds of things. I've done 12-step programs. I've continued to do my education. I've certified in neuro-linguistic programming. I am certified to talk on exactly what the F is going on in the world, right? As it relates to you and others. So I really had to pause and breathe. And instead of constantly, the information or the advice people give me, which is post photos of yourself. You're so pretty. Post sexy photos. Screw that. I'm done. I'm sorry, but I'm a Trojan horse. I'm a pretty woman, but you come to me and we're going to educate and you're going to learn, you're going to elevate and you're going to stop hurting yourself so you can stop hurting others. I'm done. I'm tired. I want to feel safe in the world. Get in here, learn some stuff, go have fun with your life. I'm done. Go away. So, I've had to really be okay with there's going to be some scary stuff, right? I don't recommend this to everyone. You do not have to do this. Post what you can or don't post, or you don't have to be on social media anyway. I'm here to show up, give people a voice and help people heal so that they don't have to keep repeating toxicity and at any level.
Like I said in the beginning of the podcast, thank you for doing what you do. You are doing a great job. And what is next for you in your career?
I've got some feature films that I'm doing. I'm nervous. I'm so scared, but I've got feature films. I've got another book that I'm in the middle of trying to write. That scares me too. I'm facing these fears, and I've got a book that's called Partnerships and Politicians. Your picker is broken, how to fix it. Right. So I'm facing my fears, and I'm really excited for this next chapter. I want to put out another book. I want to do more public speaking. I want to do more podcasts like this. I want to help share more information. And I'm really excited to start filming. I start filming on a project next week with people I love working with, and I'm down to just keep showing up with these people and trying to do something better for the world.
No, everything you do, you're very inspiring. I really do say that from my heart. And now, where can people find you? Your coaching services, if they want to work with you, everything will be down in the description down below. But if you want to share that.
Yes. So you can find me at lovecoach247.com. You can just look me up, Natalie Stavola, on social media. I am at Natalie Stavola everywhere. My coaching one is Natalie.Stavola, but I post on both. I'm a little more political on my personal one, and then on my other one, just straight dating things. So by all means, follow whatever you want. lovecoach247.com, and then my email if people want to jump in and see about a free session with me so they can see if coaching is right for them. It's Natalie at lovecoach247.com, and that's Natalie at lovecoach247.com, and Natalie is Natalie.
Now, anything else for the listener before we go?
You got this. Ooh, whatever you're facing, you got it. Help, overcome it, do what you can do. There's free information out there, so Google it. Listen to your intuition on if that person's good to listen to or not. If they're coming from a place of hate and they don't love themselves and it's manipulation, run. Don't listen to that. Listen to the ones that have done it and have a solid energy and it radiates positivity. That's kind of how you'll know. But no matter whatever you're going through, someone has overcome it. Don't listen to the gaslighters. It's not about anger is a low vibration and you shouldn't feel that way. No. There's shitty things out there and there is abuse out there. It's just you can learn how to overcome it and heal it so that you can become its boss. You know, if you've got a boss right now that's abusing you or manipulating you, right? You can heal and then somehow wind up becoming their boss. Like I've done that before with clients. It's so fun. I love it. But anything is possible. Anything is possible. It could be hard work. It could be difficult facing the pain, but it's possible.
Natalie, this has been an incredible conversation. Your insights on dating and personal growth is truly valuable. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Matthew. Thank you so much for having me on and asking these questions.
Now, for the listeners, please go follow her content and go read her book. It's on Amazon.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And this is Every Day is Friday Podcast 365. Until next time, everybody. Thank you.